Today, I'll be going over one very important indicator that just flashed on Bitcoin that you should know about, as well as why this time is different for Bitcoin, some graphs and charts to back that up. And then I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to show you a video by Crypto Banter that was released today with 4 prominent YouTubers talking about their portfolios for maximum profit this bull run and my 2 cents on that, and exactly how your success is virtually guaranteed this bull run if you just follow a simple formula. Now, there are no guarantees in crypto. We all know that. But there are things you can do to make it much, much simpler and things that have worked for me in the past. So I'll be commenting on that. Also on the asymmetrical play that I believe is Ethereum right now. Ethereum is dead, is rampant all over Twitter, all over the news. And I just believe it's way too important of a chain. There's way too much happening to fade Ethereum right now in this asymmetrical bet opportunity. And I'll be showing you some articles on why I believe that, as well as 3 bonus altcoins at the end that you may not have heard of or that are primed to break out that you might not suspect. These are the things that we need to be looking at right now. Those of you who follow this channel, this is more about investing and having a long-term vision. And by long-term, I mean now 6 to 12 months, because we're right there. And as you know, the stock to flow model shows that the best time to sell Bitcoin is 18 months after the halving, and that is actually coming up next November. So we are getting ready this time as a community here on the Crypto Megan channel, and I'm going to let you in on some secrets as to how you can maximize opportunities when the attention is flowing elsewhere, like into the hot, sexy coins of the moment or memes. So today's going to be a really action-packed episode. Stay tuned till the end so you get those 3 bonus altcoins plus the charts that show they are set and ready and primed to explode. And on that note, I'm your host, Megan Nelson, aka Crypto Megan, and let's get right into it. Okay, so jumping right into it. By the way, I got my Ape Fest shirt on. I am so excited for Ape Fest this weekend in Lisbon. I'll be flying out on Friday. So any of you that are going, please holler in the comments. I want to meet you there. I'm also bringing a really special surprise. So yeah, let me know if you're headed out that way. Now, first thing we're going to look at is the indicator I was talking about in the intro, which is the hash ribbons buy signal, which Eric Crown pointed out on his stream today that will be confirming for Bitcoin today. And typically these hash ribbon buy signals have been very, very good indicators as to generally a good time to buy in the market. And I know every time they flash, people say, no, there could be a crash, there could be another correction. It's true. But in Bitcoin's history, it's usually generally been a very good time to buy if you have a long-term outlook. So yes, another indicator showing that this time, Bitcoin things are changing. We could be seeing a new uptrend being formed. Then I wanted to show you this chart. It is a rising wedge currently for Bitcoin with a few of the levels here. This is a chart from Capital Mindset. I think they're doing phenomenal things. I'll be showing other charts throughout this episode and future episodes. But yes, it shows that it's in a rising wedge, and we're currently here at resistance of the 1.618 at around 67,600. But as long as we are above 67,000, things are looking good for Bitcoin for a continuation. Remember, it's more likely to drop down out of this rising wedge. But if it does end up breaking up, it can go parabolic. So very exciting times indeed for Bitcoin. Let's see how it holds throughout the rest of the week. 67,000, key level to watch if we want to see more continued upside from here. Now, as to why I was saying this time is different, I was having a look at this post from Crypto Dreams, and I think it breaks it down really well as to where we are at right now in the market, just to add a little bit more to your Bitcoin thesis. And why is it important to pay attention to Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is what drives the market, right? Whether we like it or not, they're all very correlated, and the altcoins will not see their day in the sun until Bitcoin is starting to break out and finds itself having a new all-time high. So then, a few factors to point out as to why this time is different. Donald Trump to launch crypto token sale on Tuesday. Well, that happened yesterday. And although it didn't go nearly as they had anticipated, they thought they would bring in hundreds of millions, and I believe they got around 9 million. It's still pretty incredible that a former president is launching a crypto coin. So think of it what you will, but these are things that are calling attention to our market. And, we can only consider that to be bullish at this point in time. Next, El Salvador to buy back and pay off $940 million of its debt. This is massive. And it says here, go figure, the country who made Bitcoin legal tender is now debt-free. Things are changing. It's time to wake up. Things are different. And I know there was a video circulating of Donald Trump saying, if China doesn't want to comply and use the dollar as the reserve currency, then they'll have to pay 100% tariffs, which I think is pretty interesting. I don't know if that'd be successful. It is interesting, and it's a pretty cool move as far as like keeping things in check. But how long is that dollar going to be the reserve currency? And what plans will Trump have if he's elected president? It seems to be going very, very well for El Salvador, who is the trailblazer in this movement. Next up, Donald Trump now leads Kamala Harris by 13.5% in betting markets. So these betting markets have actually been pretty accurate in, reflecting the popularity of each candidate. Let me know in the description, in the comments, who do you want to win for president and why? I know crypto people are generally, single issue voters. We want freedom. We want technology to flourish and to thrive. We want to be able to be in the US and not be afraid from legislation by enforcement. We want things to be the way they were when Bill Clinton was in the administration. Now, before you go saying Bill Clinton, this and that, it's not about politics. It's that when Clinton was president, instead of stifling innovation, he just let it rip. The internet I'm referring to. And as a result of that, we have Uber, we have Amazon, we have all of the biggest companies in the US because he decided not to get out in front of it and try to control it. And in Tim Draper's words, those are weak leaders. Weak leaders try to control things instead of letting them rip and letting them thrive. So if you do want to vote either side, let me know why. And if you are voting for Kamala Harris, let me know what you think crypto legislation will look like under the Kamala Harris administration. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. So yeah, it's a very interesting time in crypto indeed. Then we have this video here. Now I like to point out these videos because they always go unnoticed. Somehow, the mainstream media, they're just small news events and they don't garner any traction. So look at this. I mean, breaking news. TD Bank was fined $3 billion for allowing drug cartel money laundering. No charges were given to anyone. What? I mean, if this comes out for crypto, I mean, it's huge news. Crypto's dead. We need regulation. But the banks, they don't even get a slap on the wrist anymore. It says here, TD Bank hit with record $3 billion fine over cartel money, drug money laundering. TD Bank profited over $10 billion from money laundering operations and no criminal charge. So they profited $10 billion. They paid $3 billion. They made out with $7 billion. What is this? What is this? This is crazy.
$1 billion criminal penalty, combined with civil enforcement actions announced today by other agencies, the United States will be imposing a total of approximately $3 billion against TD Bank.
This is crazy, guys. I mean, it's just crazy. Honestly, it's a tough road right now for crypto, and there's lots of hurdles we have to get through, but it is so worth what's fighting for on the other side, which is freedom. So it's going to be an incredible journey regardless, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Next up, Italy plans to raise capital gains tax on Bitcoin for quantities of 2,000 euros and above from 26% to 42% as part of its 2025 budget plan. What? There is no way. I mean, that is just crazy. Let's just tax people who decide they want to have financial sovereignty and make that a part of our budget to save the dying currency. I mean, it's just people need to open their eyes around the world. That's what I believe. And that slowly but surely, this will all come to fruition and it'll all come out. And the Ponzi scheme that is fiat will come crumbling down at some point if things are continuing the way they're continuing. So now I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes of the episode, which is I saw this episode on Crypto Banter of the 4 prominent YouTubers talking about, their bets for this bull run. And while I respect all of my fellow YouTubers, and especially the 4 on this broadcast, I love them all. Some of the things I don't agree with, some of the things I do. I wanted to comment particularly on the ETH narrative in the beginning, because this is very important for my investing thesis and for what's happening right now. What I believe is that while all the attention is flooding toward people like Murad on Twitter who are saying that SPX 6900 is going to eventually hit a $100 billion market cap, and people are flooding into meme coins because that is what retail is going to flock to. Remember, it's only in the thousands of people who are trading this liquidity right now around. And also, we don't have retail right now. Google searches are all-time low for Bitcoin, all-time low in 4 years. So the reality is, while right now they're really hot, there are a lot of quality things that are being underlooked in this market. As Alex Becker said yesterday, and as Elio Trades, who's a YouTuber I love and respect as well in this space, says that utility and actually gaming and things that are being built that are really changing the world are going to catch fire, and it's only a matter of time. So why not look at those things now while they're completely undervalued? So let's go over this, and I'll let you know my opinion on Ethereum in a minute.
How bullish are we feeling about Ethereum? And I'm going to start off with you, Kyle, because that's the first. Is it something that you're going to have in your portfolio, or is it something you're not going to have in your portfolio?
I do have. I haven't bought any more in a long time, but I do have a fair amount in Aave that I'm lending against. I just think it's. I think it's not something I'm really interested in right now. But like I guess I hold it kind of like I hold Bitcoin in a way of just like a store value. It's institutional. Yeah.
Okay, so you have a yes to that. So Kyle has a yes to ETH. Dennis, are you an ETH?
So Kyle, I don't really know his stance. I met him in Dubai. He's an awesome guy, but he seems to be a little bit wishy-washy on his standpoint on Ethereum, but rightfully so. And look, when market sentiment changes for coins because fundamentals have changed, I understand changing the strategy, rebalancing the portfolio, but I do have one opinion on ETH, which I'll let you know afterwards. But so far, Kyle's stance is wishy-washy at best.
ETH, man?
Yeah, big yes. Just like last year.
Big yes.
I think it might finally turn around now for...
A yes to ETH. Dennis, are you an ETH man?
Yeah, big yes. Just like last year.
Big yes.
I think it might finally turn around now for... ETH
what's your
Bitcoin ratio.
What's your bull case for it actually turning around?
At least to outperform Bitcoin. So doing that by 1.5x, I think at ETH size is already pretty good.
And why do you think it's performed so badly up until now?
It's kind of hard to say, to be honest. I think it's overall the alt season has never started yet. And based on like net liquidity, based on just Bitcoin dominance going up too much, and majority of that has been just going sideways for ETH and its ecosystem. Okay. I think that's about to turn around.
Pete, what do you think?
So before we go on, I mean, you can see it in Rand's face from Crypto Banter. He's kind of like, are you kidding me, man? Like, you think ETH is going to turn around? It's a big yes. That is generally the sentiment all across Twitter and all across social media and even the broader media as a whole. But you can see here, I really like Dennis because he's got a very practical, long-term mindset and he doesn't complicate things. He's an investor and he sees that, there's an asymmetrical opportunity here. All I'm looking to is for Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin. And let's face it, we don't have Ethereum in our portfolios to get like hundreds of X's. It's one of the more stable plays that we understand is one of the most robust and secure chains, in this whole space. And it's not going anywhere. So he's saying like, why not look at it now? Right? So keep that in mind.
I don't hold any Ethereum. It's basically, seemingly losing value all the time to Solana. We now got other layer ones coming in, Sui and the others sort of seem to be taking away from from Ethereum every time anything gets going. So,
okay, so what? I'll tell you, I actually dumped my ETH today, most of them. I've been on a mission of dumping it. I took a lot of my ETH, and actually the trade that I executed today was I dumped some Ethereum, I bought some Celestia. I bought some Celestia, even though I know there's a big token unlock coming. I think that some of the unlock may be priced in, so I've started to layer into my Celestia position. And I bought a little bit of Radium because I just think that my thesis is so Solana heavy that I want to be more involved in the Solana ecosystem. So I've finally done it. I'm out of ETH, or I'm getting out of ETH. I'm tired of ETH. I've been waiting a long time, and I'm just giving up on it. Let's go.
Whoa, Whoa, okay, there's a lot of bombs here. And look, this is nothing against Rand. You know what? I think actually, too, it's important to understand when you're watching YouTubes and gathering things for your investment thesis and just trying to get information, to understand where these YouTubers are at as far as their own portfolios, their thinking, and their strategies. A lot of these guys are traders, maybe swing traders. Like Rand, he seems to be more of a trader. So maybe at the moment, the play is to, swap a little bit or get out of ETH, as he says, into Solana or something that's been moving harder. But my thesis as a long-term investor is kind of like, okay, you're dumping ETH, getting out of ETH completely. You're tired of waiting for it. That's usually the sentiment, the bearish sentiment that comes right before things turn around. As long as the coin isn't fundamentally dead or something happened that completely affects everything. I mean, yes, Solana has been hugely popular. It's the retail gateway because it's easy for them to get into memes, and that's where a lot of the volume has come from, and it's exciting and it's shiny and it's in the spotlight now. But I've been around this cycle for a very long time, these markets, and I've seen this same rotation, right? A rotation between layer ones, liquidity flows. And I was in on Solana from $25. I rode it all the way up to 250 or 60 or something like that. I don't remember what it was, 220. And then I got out of it. So I was trading a little bit. But long-term investment thesis, I mean, look at the one that's the most undervalued. If you believe they're all going to succeed, hold them all. Solana, Sui, and ETH. But if you look at Sui's chart, I mean, Sui is hugely overheated right now, due for a correction. Solana, I am allocating to that right now at the moment, but mostly more into ETH, because the way I look at it, why am I going to go heavy into something that's just run so hard? And why not stick to the narrative? Why not stick to my original play of Ethereum? It just doesn't make sense for me to keep swapping in and out to the shiniest thing. Rather, if I have conviction in my other investments, like I do in Ethereum, either keep dollar cost averaging into that or double down, because the narrative is super bearish. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think dumping ETH completely is not in my strategy. And, I will show you something now that is just kind of like why I don't believe we should bet against ETH. One of the core reasons, apart from it being like, the backbone of DeFi and a lot of the things that are happening in this space, check this out. This is just one of the headlines, but BlackRock is selling Bitcoin to buy Ethereum. Will this bullishness trigger another altcoin season? So that's 4 days ago. So while people are dumping their ETH and tired of ETH and thinking it's never going to turn around, BlackRock is selling Bitcoin for Ethereum. I mean, that right there says it all to me. So these are long-term plays. Like BlackRock's not thinking what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next week. It's just like Dennis said, who I think his channel is like Kevin Bacon or something like that. I really like his analysis. And he said, I'm just looking for it to outperform Bitcoin. That's it. In Solana, I hold Solana. There's nothing against Solana. And actually, I want to buy more Solana. Sui, I will pick up some as soon as, it's going to be correcting for a while, in my opinion, because we just had a very, very heated run. But yeah, like if BlackRock is doing this, they have an Ethereum ETF. They have a huge vested interest in this being successful. And why? Why would I right now get bearish on ETH where I feel it's like more or less the bottom? Now, of course, I could be wrong, but I have conviction in this play and I'm going to continue to stick to that because this is my overall investing thesis. I want to go for those undervalued gems that I believe are going to completely change the space, revolutionize the space, or that are going to continue to have a strong dominance like Ethereum. It might not have the dominance it once did, but it's not going anywhere, guys. So yeah, I just want to point that out. Don't fall for the narrative of, oh, now that everybody's talking about meme coins, I'm going to get into meme coins. Oh, now it's shifted to AI. No, let's play chess. Let's play chess. Let's not play checkers. Let's play chess. So where do you think the attention will flow next? Do you think gaming is completely obsolete? It's over. AI, all of those narratives are dead and it's going to only be about meme coins? No. So why not anticipate that move before it gets hot, before everybody's talking about it? That's all I want you to think about. And on that note, we'll get to a few more Ethereum articles, and then I'll give you the 3 bonus altcoins that are undervalued gems, in my opinion, that I am looking to accumulate. So, digitizing the dollar, BlackRock CEO reveals his radical plan for AI-powered crypto that's predicted to blow up the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Again, BlackRock, the giant. When BlackRock speaks, the world listens, is wanting to pump Ethereum, is wanting to educate people on Ethereum. So here it says, we believe Bitcoin is an asset class in itself as an alternative to other commodities like gold. So here he's comparing Bitcoin to gold as a fully fledged spot Bitcoin ETF to the US, a flight to quality, as he said earlier. And then he said their third quarter earnings call predicting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto will overlay with artificial intelligence. So that Ethereum is going to play a huge role in this next cycle. So I think the application of this form of investment will be expanded. 2, the role of Ethereum as a blockchain can grow dramatically. So if we can create more acceptability, more transparency, more analytics, then it will be expanded. So he's saying that he's hugely bullish on these assets and they're swapping Bitcoin out for Ethereum. And one of the things he says is that the Ethereum ETFs are facing narrative challenges. So Bitcoin for investors was easy to understand because they could compare it to gold as a store of value, a flight to quality and safety. Ethereum is a little bit different. So it requires a lot more education. Now it's something they can get a yield on. It's exciting for traditional finance guys, but they need to understand and get a grip on it. So they're putting a lot of resources into educating people on what Ethereum is and why it's so important to crypto. So, do you want to fade Ethereum knowing that Blackrock's behind it? I don't. Lastly, people are calling ETH dead, but they're wrong again. ETH inflows have started increasing. Grayscale outflows are getting smaller. Jump trading has less than 60 million ETH left to sell. And most importantly, ETH is strongly holding its support levels. ETH to 10,000 plus is still possible this cycle. And then he shows a graph here of some support being laid. Like maybe we have one more final test down and then the spring, which he shows could go all the way up to 13,700 on like a, blow off top basis. I do believe ETH could hit anywhere from 8 to 10,000 from here. I think it's a great play and it's a great place to park some of my portfolio, the more stable part of my portfolio, and I will continue to do so. So next up, I am going to show you a few altcoins that are also being slept on, in my opinion, that we need to pay attention to. So I think you may have heard the news, but Off the Grid is a new blockchain game out there, and it has had massive success. I mean, gaming is going to be huge this cycle, and I know you've been hearing this, but it's not going to be the thing where like, oh, we need to all buy gaming because, it's going to go up like a meme coin. People buy it because, they're excited about it. No, it's because the underlying infrastructure is going to support these games, and people aren't even going to know they're using the blockchain while they play these games. And in Alex Becker's words, it's just better code. And that is what is going to be real adoption. And that is what I'm looking to, these bigger infrastructure plays, right? So Off the Grid access sees massive success in first 7 days. The global launch of the Off the Grid has made significant waves in both Web3 and traditional gaming sectors in the first 7 days. So here's a few stats. 3.5 million new wallets created on PS5, PC, and Xbox, reaching a total of 5.6 million. Over 20 million new transactions on the Guns blockchain, totaling 55 million. And ranked in the top 3 live stream games on Twitch, 2.1 million hours of live streams and 3,200 streamers. So it reached a number 1 free to play game on Epic Game Store. So yeah, a lot of these influencers are getting paid to use it, but they're liking it. And it's getting massive numbers. And guess what blockchain it's built on? AVAX. So look at where AVAX is. If you want to look at undervalued plays in Solana and Sui, at least with Sui, I mean, they're not the same, but look at this. Avalanche, when we first started talking about it, or when this chart was circulating in the Capital Mindset group in early September, was right around the 26 mark, breaking out of this falling wedge. And as you can see now, we haven't moved much out of that after that. So considering the success that game is having and how big Avalanche could be this year. I know they also launched some pilot for like asset tokenization for JP Morgan. I think this is an interesting play to diversify a little bit. So I have some Avalanche. I'm looking to pick up more Avalanche. And here's a really interesting AI play for you. Singularity DAO. AI-focused layer 2. Their tokens will consolidate into Singularity Finance. So this is huge news. The news is that Singularity DAO plans to merge with Cogito, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Finance, and Self-Key. Key is also another huge AI play. The new entity, dubbed Singularity Finance, will merge the 3 projects' tokens into SFI, providing a layer 2 for tokenizing assets like GPUs and offer AI-powered financial tools. So that is huge. The merge and the convergence of these. So that's very bullish for SDAO. I have a chart here. also from Capital Mindset Group. So here's the chart, and we're currently accumulating at these lower levels, and the targets at this breakout of around 33 cents could extend all the way up to $1.14. So if you like to trade, you have a look at SDAO, but also just for picking it up if you're an investor and you want new AI plays, have a look at some of these more undervalued gems. I know Tau is on everybody's radar, BitTensor, that's a phenomenal play. I also hold that, but it's interesting to have a look at some of these other ones to diversify a little bit as well. And finally, Shiba. I actually met the core developer. His name is Shaitoshi. I met him in Singapore and we're discussing doing a podcast together. So let me know if you want to see that happen. If you're still here at that point, let me know as well because you're an OG. And I want to know who my OGs are. So Shiba, everyone's looking at all the shiniest memes, and I get it. You want you want to have the room for those multiple X's. Shiba's a bigger token already, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to run this time around, this cycle. And we're showing an inverse head and shoulders here, close to the resistance level. If it breaks, then we could see some pretty good upside from Shiba Inu. So yeah, just to put that on your radar. Meme coins, I hold Doge, Shiba, MOG. I do hold some Trump just in case he wins, as well as, what are the other ones I have? I don't have PopCat. I'd have to look at my portfolio, but sticking to the bigger ones and Pepe, of course, is just generally an easier strategy if you're not a trader. So that was my point for this episode. If you'd like to see a full deep dive of my portfolio and how I'm playing this bull run, let me know that as well. And I hope you got some insight into this. I hope that you're not panic selling your ETH. Not financial advice, is just what I'm doing, of course, but I think ETH is going to turn around just like Dennis said earlier in the episode, and we're in for a phenomenal bull run. So the Bitcoin buy indicator just flashed. Let's get ready for this, guys. Let's be ready for this next massive parabolic wave that's coming to crypto. I cannot wait. So that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.